So two things that are happening nowadays is I've been making some flower boxes, and those are just made out of 2x6s screwed together, butt joints, nothing special. Another thing is I just bought a patio set of furniture made of wood, and it's relatively cheap construction, but the table and chairs are in good shape. But it's just the lounge chair that needs some fixing. So let's go out and take a look at that. Oh. Yeah. So strange, I didn't see any traces of glue on these slats. But it seems like that would need to be glued to keep that in. And at the ends here it seems to be one thick dowel into each end. And this is the patio set. Oh yeah, and if you wanted to see, there's the Allen key doohickeys. But still manages to have some curved wood in there, and what I'm guessing is eucalyptus. Okay, so welcome to my very cluttered little shop room. Here I have the long chair, and I'm going to, this is the dry fit, but I'm also going to only glue some of the slats along the bottom because it's actually quite difficult to get them in there. So I'm going to be very strategic about which ones I take out and which ones I glue in the bottom, and then I'll probably glue a bunch of the ones on this side. So I have Gorilla Glue because I'm worried about the furniture being outside and the glue being waterproof. So I have some water. So I'm going to dampen the areas that I want to glue, and then I'm going to follow up and paint a little bit of glue. So I'm going to take this, and then I'm going to take out a couple of these, put some glue in, shove them in quickly, and try and get this all to close. So let's begin. So I'm starting with the water. To dampen the wood, which helps the Gorilla Glue activate. And will also make it much harder to put these slats in because the wood will swell. So I'm not going to let it sit long in between the time that I apply it and the time that it has to expand. Also, what I'm going to do is apply it mainly on the back and the bottom of the mortise. The back meaning where the bottom of the slats will be, so that if the squeeze out comes out, it'll come out in the back of where it's not seen. And also these tenons are not centered, so I'm going to be very careful to put them all in the same orientation. And the ones that were trapped in there that I haven't been able to get out are with the thickest amount of cheek towards me. So that's what I'm going to keep in mind. So I'm going to put these in. Now I'm going to wet the tenons. I'm going to turn it around so that I wet them on the back side. This might be a tricky maneuver. Went fairly well. So now I'm just going to make sure that the part that raises on the long chair is registered right. And I'm going to start painting inside of the mortises with the water. And on the ones that the mortises are not showing, I'm going to paint the backs of the tenons with water. Okay, so now I'm going to follow up with the glue. Get some at the bottom of the mortises. Enough time has elapsed. I'm worried about getting these in here now. So ideally I'm going to pull them into the mortise and get them halfway in between each side. Or I'll put the clamp on if that's not working and get the sides to come together and pop them into place with a mallet if necessary. So I already have quite a few of them lined up. With maybe only a couple of trouble spots, so I'm going to begin with my mallet to persuade. So I'll just grab a caul. In this case it'll be a 2x6 since I have these from the project that I mentioned. I am going to call that a success. That went way better than I planned. So now I'm going to pop some clamps on there. I'm going to put one at the end where I just put some glue. Tight as it will go, and I'm making sure that this is still free to move. The next clamp is going to go on the end just because then I'll be able to raise the middle up. I'm going to put this on the other side since the slat is more in line with the other side. It's more to this end. And I'm clamping on, this is the last slat. This is already where the foldable portion starts. So this is the one I'm going to start on, and then I'll probably just put one or two here in the middle. So that's it. In case you were wondering, there are feet that go on it with just an Allen key and some screws. So there's the wheels, and then there's some supports out here where your head would be. So those are not going to be glued, and they will remain as is. Unless I find that they're giving out, then I will glue them in place, since there's conveniently a tenon already cut and mortised. So that's it. I'll just bring the camera in for a close-up of the foaming action. Okay, so as you can see here, the chaise longue is in action, and there's no glue squeeze out. Say hello to Hector, the cat.